Hello everybody, and welcome to an interesting video. Just gonna be some generic Birthplace of the Vile gameplay going on in the background. Had the opportunity to do a little GM run, and thought I might as well have a little bit of fun and record it just for the sake of having some background footage to talk about stuff. In fact, this run is almost entirely flawless, up until other than one death that was to a Warlock jump, which is fine. I think as long as if it's environmental death, in my opinion, it's still flawless. I didn't die. So, hey, there's that. But overall, this is just going to be kind of talk about, like, my opinion, like, how I'm feeling about the future of Destiny and how I'm feeling when it comes to a lot of different things right now when it comes to the game. Because I love Destiny. It is a game that I play frequently enough that I feel like I'm comfortable enough in saying that I like the game enough that it's fun and it doesn't feel like a chore to play. But I do understand a lot of people are kind of sick with the game for a multitude of different reasons. I personally am a huge fan of how the game has, not necessarily where the game's been going, but of everything that's been going on this year when it comes to the game. I think Maya Sundaresh, while a flawed villain, was still a very fun villain. And again, while it was an interesting concept, I do think everything that went on with Revenant was very fun, and I do think that a lot of the criticisms aren't warranted, but also make sense when it comes to the story. If you didn't know, a lot of people are saying that Erasmus's redemption arc was undeserved or unnecessary, and Aramis is a bad character. Aramis is not a bad character. It's just she was in this kind of state when it came to Beyond Light that she was underdeveloped, and all of the development we had from basically from Beyond Light to effectively Season of Defiance was meant to be more or less a developmental story of how Aramis is kind of realizing how flawed her ideology is in terms of trying to move on with a better life for the Elixir. As well as just generally speaking, her character definitely, I agree her character doesn't deserve the redemption, but it does deserve peace. Because all she wants is a better future for her and her people. The people that don't want to live under the rule of the city, under the light, basically behind humanity. Which is fair. I understand some people don't want that. Not everyone wants to live, not necessarily under a ruler, but not everyone wants to live under what they feel is a tyrannical rule, and they just want to live on their home planet in peace. Which I think is valid. Let Aramis do her thing. Which is why a lot of people saying, like, oh, Aramis getting the Echo is such a bad decision because she's going to use it to try and take over humanity. No. If you pay attention at all, Aramis basically took the Echo and said, I'm out. I'm good. I was promised something better for my people. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to take this opportunity and go. Especially since, like, Aramis deserves that peace. Do I agree that she doesn't necessarily do I agree that giving the Echo was a bad idea? Absolutely. But in the end, I think she kind of made peace and kind of at least gave us a reason to leave her alone. Not necessarily not keep an eye on her, but at least leave her alone in the sense of she's no longer a serious threat by getting rid of Nezarec getting Nezarec out of Mithrax, which I do wish we had more of, because again, I love Nezarec. It's one of my favorite raids, in my opinion, because it is one of the most, not necessarily challenging, but it's one of the most fun. And I think a lot of people sleep on it because it's so easy. Just because it's something E doesn't mean it can't be fun. Like, yeah, if something's easy, it does take away a lot of the challenge, but if you're just there to try and basically get a challenge that says clear X amount of raids, it's like, okay, let's do Deepstone, let's do Vault of Glass, let's do Ruin of Nightmares. There's only one problematic encounter in the entire Ruin of Nightmares in comparison to something like, same thing with like Vow. There's one really problematic encounter in Vow, and that problematic encounter is only problematic because of the fact that it's requires everyone to have a job. Same thing with Garden. Same thing with Last Wish. And it's not to say that I like raids that basically allow for people to sit around and do ad clear. It's that I like raids to where if they have to do a job, that job cannot wipe the team. That's the way I kind of like my raids to be, is the raid incentivizes everyone to have a job, but that job does not ruin the run if they screw it up. It's recoverable. Looking at you, Salvation's Edge. I still will stand by the fact that Salvation's Edge is mechanically the worst raid in the game. Because it requires perfection and does not allow for anyone to be able to have fun. Video game's supposed to be fun, raid's supposed to be fun. Salvation's Edge is not fun. Salvation's Edge is just not a fun raid. It is probably the worst raid in Destiny history. And I will not take any substitute. Or criticism. But I've already talked about that plenty. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But moving forward in terms of Destiny, Heresy has a lot going for it in terms of like overall what it's set up, because Hive Pantheon, we have Savathun, Xivu, presumably Oryx will play some form, and whether it'll be him directly or like something else, I have no idea. Obviously it's going to have Oryx involved in some way because it's his Dreadnought. So it's got a lot going for it, if only for the sake of there's so much lore on Oryx that it almost makes me wonder where they're gonna go. Like, are they going to try and have Oryx be kind of like a voice remnant in the Dreadnought? Or are they going to have it be a thing where it's like, are they going to be a thing where it's more along the lines of Savathun and Xivu trying to take control of the Dreadnought, because maybe my running theory is the Echo has embedded itself inside of Willbreaker, because that's the only thing I can think of that would give reason to have the Dreadnought return. Is that one, the Dreadnought is a powerful ship and a super weapon, but I think Willbreaker being a possible problem as to where, like, as to the reason why we're going back, outside of the fact that it is a super weapon ship that we've left in the orbit of Saturn for over a few years now, and the fact that no one's thought about doing anything with it is very impressive. You get the idea, though. But overall, other than that, Frontiers we have nothing really knowing about Frontiers in terms of the fact that it's seemingly we are going on to the next saga, and I just want to know more. That's the thing about Frontiers. I want to know more. I want to know generally where we're going after Heresy. I want to know what the plan is, because there's nothing. There's just nothing going on right now. There's no hint to where we're going other than the fact that we're moving on past the witness. Which, yeah, is vague, but that's all we have. And even so, it's still very much a interesting story to tell when you have, not to say characters that are left untouched, but you have so much going on that's sort of unbeknownst to us. Like, we finally wrapped up loose ends with the Scorn and Aramis. We finally wrapped up a lot of loose ends involving not necessarily all the Vex, but a lot of story tied to Osiris and Saint with Echoes. The only real kind of loose ends we have are like more or less stuff involving Keitel, and even then that's kind of wrapped itself up with Lightfall. But more or less stuff involving the Cabal, which presumably is what we're going to be doing in one of the seasons of Frontiers, or one of the DLCs of Frontiers, since they are moving to like a 2 expansion per year model. But we also have the stuff like just mainly the Hive, like, and that's what we're probably going to be getting with Heresy. My running theory is that Heresy is going to basically put an end to Xivu and probably even Savathun. Because I have a very sneaky suspicion that Savathun will either have her final death, or will find a reason to act, or she'll finally have a reason to not necessarily redeem herself, but give herself a reason to move on and finally stop existing. And that would probably be to do some form of sacrifice play to take down Xivu. Because Xivu is the only other threat to us as in terms of the Hive. Because Savathun seemingly is neutral in some way. So, I don't know. But overall, Frontiers, I'm still very hesitant to want to say I'm excited for because we know so little. When it comes to stuff like Heresy, I'm excited for the dungeon because Rolk is a very interesting character. Rolk is, I'm not going to say a very underdeveloped character, but it's a character that I feel like has not gotten the attention he deserved when it came to his raid. Because his raid is one of the best raids of all time, in my opinion. If not the best raid of all time. And it feels that we just haven't gotten enough out of Rolk to warrant the fact that his character's over. I'm really hoping that the raid, the new dungeon, Sunder Doctrine, does do that for us. And if you're curious, yes, I will be doing a video on it. It basically, I don't know what team I'll be running it with, but it'll be one of my teams that I usually run stuff with. But I plan on doing that run with either the team I do usually with Strix, with Iridian, or maybe even Lucent and them if they're interested in carrying me through another dungeon. But I do plan on trying to do it again. I'm really hoping that in terms of the experience, it's in line with the difficulty of Vesper's Host in terms of mechanics, but not in terms of DPS and like actual like damage check. I've said this once, I'll say it again. I find Vesper's Host to be a perfect balance of the mechanics are really hard, but the damage, the overall experience when it comes to DPS doesn't feel too bad. Like, the Puppeteer doesn't feel too hard to deal with, but it also doesn't feel like I'm shooting, the Ghost of the Deep boss, like with a freaking pea shooter, you know? But there's a lot I'm excited for when it comes to the incoming content of Destiny. Obviously, Heresy is around the corner. I believe it's like a couple weeks away. I don't think it's like too far away. I know it's only a couple weeks. Obviously, we have to pass this prologue. I've gotten not all of what I want, but obviously because there's more coming this weekend. But I've gotten some spoils. I got the 2 weapons that I want. I'm debating if I want to do Horror's Least as well, because I like pulses, especially rapid fires, but Horror's Least feels a little off. I don't know why. I never really liked it too much. But regardless, I'm excited for the future of Destiny. There's a lot to be excited for when it comes to Destiny. I do plan on hopefully doing, not necessarily day 1 contest mode, but I do hopefully plan on doing it within the time frame to get the reward, whatever it happens to be. I do also plan on hopefully doing, unfortunately I did get my schedule for the week of Season 2's launch for COD. I will not be able to do day 1. I won't be able to actually do anything related to the new Zombies map in terms of Easter egg hunting until at the soonest Thursday, which sucks, but I'll at least be able to do the day 1 run in terms of my first playthrough. I just won't be able to do anything outside of, like, that. Maybe, like, the Easter egg song. Stuff like that. But Destiny-wise, I'm excited to see what's coming. I really am to just kind of see what activities we're getting, what reprised weapons we're getting. Because so far, we've gotten reprised weapons from Season of Dawn and Season of the Splicer. I'm hoping that maybe we'll get some Black Armory weapons this time around. Because, you know, Black Armory... pretty good. It'll be fun. I know we have Blast Furnace already, but there's other Black Armory weapons. Especially if you're going to only do 4 of them or something. There's plenty. In fact, I think there's 7, so you could technically do most of them. Oh, wait, no, actually, Hammerhead. Never mind. I was thinking Blast Furnace is one of them, but no, Hammerhead as well. I guess you could probably do with the other Forge weapons that are like the SMG, like the prototype weapons as opposed to the actual Forge weapons themselves. As well as, again, I'm excited for the future of Destiny, but I'm also worried for the future of raids. Because while we know we're getting a Frontier raid, I'm worried about the fact that we haven't had Wrath brought up. And it's like, I know Siva's done and over with, but like, come on, bring Wrath up. We need to have Wrath in the game, because, voice crack. We need to have Wrath in the game, because one, no one wants to go back and do Wrath on D1, because D1 doesn't have crossplay. And two, I feel like it's the one raid that, while yeah, would make sense to bring, like, needs to be brought back still, it's the one raid that I feel like if we're gonna have a way of remastering it, Frontiers would be a way of doing it. Or, obviously, Heresy would be a way of doing it. I expected we would have gotten Crow's End for, like, Heresy, since we kind of knew about this ahead of time. I would have thought we got Crow's End for Heresy, and then, or I would have thought we would have gotten, Wrath Machine for, Revenants, but no, we got Dungeon. I knew we were gonna do it, but I thought we were gonna another reprised raid. I would have thought we would have gotten one more, because there's only one left, unless they want to bring back one of the D2 raids, which I would not be opposed to. But still, it sucks. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you made it this far in the video, tell me what you think the Dungeon Exotic is going to be. Maybe not necessarily in terms of what it's going to do, but just in terms of the archetype. Like, is it going to be a linear? Is it going to be a shotgun? Is it going to be SMG? What do you think it's going to be? I'm personally hoping it's a hand cannon, which I know, another hand cannon, but maybe a special hand cannon. Would be interesting. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time to make. Everybody, stay safe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with the normal Let's Play stuff over the weekend. And on Monday, you'll see some more GM gameplay. Talk about something different. But yeah, see you guys next time. Stay safe. And, big chungus.